Hey guys, welcome back to Cottage on Wheels. I was just getting ready to leave for my cross Canada trip going from Ontario to BC, and Bluetti contacted me saying they have a brand new product that they want me to review and take a look at. So yeah, I just got this in the mail today. It's the Bluetti AC180 portable power station. Last year they sent me the EB55 and the solar panel, and I did a review on that. I've been really liking this unit ever since I got it. It has everything I need. I like the 700 watt inverter that's on this. And so this one is just mostly the same, but a lot better features. So let's open the box and get into it. All right, so right at the top we got our manual and our warranty card for Bluetti. And then I'm assuming these are all the cables. Yep. So you have your power cable, which is just a regular computer style cable. The EB55 had the big brick for charging it up, but everything's inside this unit apparently, so you just need the cord, which is awesome. You know, you always need space in a van, right? Okay, so the plug, the 110, solar, and your cigarette lighter. Yeah, nice 3 simple little cords. I like that. Next. All right, here we go. Put this down here and get it unwrapped. Be right back. All right, here we go. Here's the AC180. As you can see, it's a 1800 watt inverter, which is crazy. You can run pretty well any appliance off that. Hair dryer, microwave, anything high powered, which is great. The air fryer or the Instant Pot. And it's got 1152 watt hours. It has 5 USBs. 4 of them are USB-A's, which everybody has tons of. And then there's your USB-C, which charges up to 100 watts. And of course your cigarette lighter, 12 volt style barrel connector. This is for your DC solar charging, so either the cigarette lighter or the solar will be plugged into there. You have your 3 power buttons, so this turns the power onto the unit. And as you see, it's a much better display from the EB55. They listened where a lot of us complained about the display before that didn't show an exact percentage of what your battery was at, where this one does now. And it will also show how many hours that you have left depending on what's plugged in. So it's much better screen as far as I'm concerned. And then your AC turns that on this side and your DC on that side. So you also have your 4 110 outlets. These are 20 amps each. What does it say up there? AC output 120 AC, 1800 watts, pure sine wave as well. Another cool feature that they used, like the EB55 is having the wireless charging on top for cell phones. Another thing I like about it is the nice square design, just like the EB55. It's got 2 handles here, so it's easy to pick up. Yeah, it's so much better having a square design and not handles sticking up anywhere, so you can put this somewhere in your van and at least pile stuff on it, or at least it's a square shape where it goes into things and doesn't take up that extra space with the handle and everything else. I like the design of it. And let's go to this side. And here is where you plug in the power cord for 110. And this is also a grounding strap if you have to ground it for any reason. Maybe if you're using large household appliances or something like that, you might want it grounded because obviously it isn't connected to anything, so none of this is grounded. And what is the center one? Well, that's your circuit protector reset button. And then there's a fan on both sides. And while we're on this side, I should talk about the AC input. You can charge up to 1,450 watts with this on a certain mode, which I'll talk about later. And the regular mode is just at 1,000 watts of power, which is still huge. So yeah, you can charge this thing in probably just a little bit over an hour, which is fantastic. I'm very impressed by this unit so far. So I think the Bluetti power station is a really useful tool to have in van life or in a home for if in case you have power outages or not. You have this still to charge devices and listen to the radio, do whatever you need to do in your home. So that's handy to have in the house. You could just keep this in the basement or in a closet somewhere and pull this out during a power outage and still have power, which is great. But I'm going to be mostly doing this review from a van life perspective. Another thing people ask a lot about is if it has pass-through charging or not. I think pretty well all of them do now in 2023. So yeah, it does have pass-through charging. So yeah, you can have your solar plugged in and it'll go directly to whatever you're charging and not be using any battery power. So that's a nice feature to have, that you can have it charging the batteries and charging devices at the same time, so you're not just depleting your battery all the time. This also has Bluetooth on it, so there's a smart app, which I'll get into later and show you how the smart app works. And it has a 10-year lifespan and a 5-year warranty on everything, which is fantastic with the money that you have to spend on one of these. And this is one of the lesser priced ones, and that's what I really like about this. It has some features that more expensive ones don't. So on the website it stated that you could add expansion batteries to this. There's one called a B80, which is 806 watt hours, so you're bringing this up to 2,000 watt hours of battery. And there's also a B230, which is 2,048 watt hours. And there's also a B300, which is, I think, 3,072 watt hours. You can expand this battery up to 4,200 watt hours, which is huge. That would last you weeks, probably, I don't know, but a long time. Another good thing about the Bluetti AC180 is it can take up to 500 watts of solar. And you can also have it plugged into the electrical grid and solar at the same time, and it'll charge even faster. So yeah, this is great for getting it back up to full power fast, and having 1,152 watts of power to use is great for my e-bike. For, you know, it's just great for anything in case my inverter ever breaks in my van or something goes wrong with my batteries, that I have this backup to use, because like I said, it'll run a microwave or any high-powered devices that I have. So this is a great backup to have for sure. So I always seem to get a lot of comments asking if this will run a fridge for 24 hours at a time, or if this will work for my entire van for van life instead of putting an electrical system in. It's a hard answer to say. I don't know how much power everybody uses. Everybody's different, depending on if you're just using a cooler for your food, a 12-volt cooler, or if you're using a bigger fridge, then of course you're going to use more power. But yeah, it's all up to what you use. But the minimum for running a fridge or a 12-volt cooler would be having a 100 amp hour battery, which this has. And obviously the inverter is more than enough, but you're going to be running it off 12 volt anyway, usually. So yeah, I would say this is more than capable as long as you have a couple hundred watts of solar plugged into it all the time, so that you're recharging your battery at the same time. I'm sure you could run a fridge 24 hours at a time. So I like that this is a middle of the road sort of power station, and it works for almost everything, especially with the 800 watt pure sine wave inverter, that it'll power almost anything that you can bring in a van. And like I said, it's got that nice square design to it, and it's got two handles on top, so you can just carry it around like this. It's only like just over 35 pounds, I think, so it's not that heavy. You carry it to the beach easily, where the EB55 had the pull-up handle. So yeah, I really like this unit. I'm very impressed by it. All right, so like I said, it was 37 pounds, and it's about 13 by 10 by 13. So it's a nice size form factor. It's a good size. Like I said, the USB-C goes up to 100 watts. The rest of the USB-As are 5 volts DC and 3 amps. There's also something called a powerlifting mode on this that'll run things up to 2700 watts. I have no idea what runs up to 2700 watts. I don't have anything that can run that high. I would assume power tools when they first start up, the motor start up, I guess. I think the display's kind of flickering in the video a little bit, but this number is your input. So if your solar or your 110's going in there, there'll be a value. This is your battery percentage. The number below it is how many more hours it'll last, which is 46.5 hours, that's because the inverter is on. And this is your output. So when things are plugged in, it'll tell you how much output. So yeah, this screen is so much better than the last screen. It has all that proper information that you need. So next, let's get into the app. All right, so I ran some power down here. I'm going to plug this in to charge it up via AC power. And as you see, it's going up. It's at what, 300, 400, 500, 600, 780, 8, 9, 1060. Seems to be hovering around there. And it says grid, so you're plugged into the grid. Your AC, turn the AC off and the DC off. It says it's going to take 0.4 of an hour to charge it. That's awesome. Okay, let's get into this Bluetti app. I might have to do a few things to get it running. I don't know if I have to scan it or what I have to do. All right, so let's go to add device, AC180. AC180, serial number. Okay. Binding successful. You're now able to control your Bluetti device. Okay, so go to the AC180. Oh, very cool. So it shows your power. Battery pack 1, 73% charge. Coming in from the grid, 1.1 kilowatt. Nothing's going out, obviously. I think can you turn your DC and AC on from there? So I assume you can turn on the DC output. Okay, so that turned on. Turn on the AC. Yes. Yeah, turn that on. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So this powerlifting mode is, I assume, to bring it up to 2700 watts. I'm just going to leave that off for now. Charging mode. Oh, this is where you can change it. So this is the standard charging mode, which is charging around 950 watts. You can have silent or turbo. So silent, I assume, turns the fans off on either side, which it just did, or it slowed them down. And then turbo should bring this up to 1450 watts, they said, maximum. I'm on an extension cord here, so I don't know if it's going to accept the full turbo mode, being so far away from the house. No, we're still floating around 950 on turbo mode. Eco. I'm not sure what any of that is. So we'll take the charging mode and put it back to standard. And that probably won't change anything. So yeah, anyway, at 1,000 watts, it's only going to take 0.3 of an hour to charge it up to full capacity. We're already up to 84%. That's crazy fast. Yeah, so that's it for the app. All right, I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of the AC180. I think it's a phenomenal middle of the road power station to have in your van or at home or anything. Like I said, it powers anything with the 1800 watt pure sine wave inverter. And yeah, it's just an all-around great product for the price. It's a lot less expensive than a lot of the other ones on the market, but works just as well. So that's it for the Bluetti AC180. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing, like it, smash the thumbs up. Anything helps. Anyhow, take care, guys. Thanks.